So the court today is coming in at 695 ducats. It is led by the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path, who has his awesome bow, as well as a sword and reinforced armor. There are 3 Hell Knights. You heard correctly, 3, a trio of Hell Knights coming up in this one, and 2 of them have a sword and a trench shield. One of those has the Proud Defiance Pride Goetic power, which means that they will not fail the morale check, any morale check that is, as long as he is on the field. And that one is going to be the 3D print with the huge shield. That'll be my Proud Defiance one. There is also a Hellblade and Sword Hell Knight, who has caused some serious bloodshed in the past on this channel, so we'll see how it goes for him this time. There is also a Pit Locust, just no upgrades at all, plain. 2 Yoke Fiends, 1 with an Arquebus and 2 Trench Clubs, and 1 with just a Hellblade. The good guys, the Iron Sultanate, coming in at exactly 700 ducats, being led by the Uzbazi captain because they have to be. He has a halberd gun and reinforced armor. I am realizing now as I look at this list that I forgot to give him the alchemical ammunition, which I usually always give him. So I will do my best to remember that he does not have it, but bear with me, I may forget because I generally always give it to him. There are 5 Janissaries in this list. This is a oops, all Janissaries almost list. 2 of those Janissaries have Siege Jezzails with alchemical ammunition, standard armor, and a sword. 2 of those Janissaries have a sword, a great sword, and standard armor. So disregard the one with the shield. I'm working on getting some what you see is what you get models printed for those, but for right now, just the melee ones will be those. The last one is what I'm trying out. That is a Janissary with a machine gun, a sword, and standard armor. This is going to be represented by the Janissary who just has the Jezzail. I, again, am working on getting one printed out with a machine gun, so pretty soon that will be what you see is what you get. And last is just a plain stock Lion of Jabir. Alrighty, here is the board after deployment. And we are going to be trying this new scenario I just wrote for the next campaign that I'm working on. This scenario is fun because there is one central objective where models will be trying to snag a map from that fallen aircraft. Once they're able to get that, they'll be trying to get it back to the side objective area that is touching each deployment zone. If it is there at the end of the game, then they'll get a bunch of victory points. Otherwise, we're just trying to control that salvaged or that crashed airplane. Central objective as well. Cultists will be popping up on the board periodically to hinder both sides. So it should be fun to test it out. This is the first play test, so I am playing both sides double-handed, as board game people call it, just to see if there are any glaring holes in this scenario before I release it to the internet for other people to test out, and maybe we can get some feedback and get it dialed in. So yeah, deployment zones are 18 inches. It's a 4-turn game, and there's the potential for it to go 5 turns if a dice roll comes up hot on the last turn. So yeah, relatively small warbands. It's meant to be played at the start of a campaign. So yep, the warband sizes are small. So a very real possibility that a morale check will end this game. So we will see how it goes. The Sultanate will be using the white dice with the black pips, and the court will be using the red dice with the white pips. We'll try to keep that consistent to make it easy. So here's the priority roll, since both sides have 7. The Sultanate gets a 6, court gets a 5. So Sultanate will be coming up with the first activation. the first thing that we're gonna do is the Lion of Jabir is gonna try to steal that map. So he is going to dash 3d6 because he is a graceful lion. He gets it with a 4-5-3. So he's gonna move up about 2 inches, climb up 2 inches, and then move forward up to next to the aircraft. And he is going to try to grab the map in action. It just is a standard, regular old action check. Wow, and he fails it. It's not a risky, geez, but I was hoping that he was gonna get it. I really don't want him getting messed up right away by the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path. So he's gonna use his movement to just pop back down and hopefully be relatively out of line of sight. Geez, well, that's how the dice go sometimes. First activation of the court is going to be a similar action. Everybody wants to get their grubby hands on that map. So this Hell Knight right here with the shield is going to, yeah, he's just gonna move up, climb up here, try to take the map for himself. So let's see if he can get it. Wow, he gets a 4. That map is hard to find in there, I suppose. I guess that it is hidden in the wreckage pretty well. The Hell Knight is going to try to dash. Or should he just go for craziness? No, he's gonna play a little bit conservative. He's gonna try to, just stay on the objective, I think. And hopefully try to score it. So that'll be it for him. In similar fashion, one of these melee Janissaries is going to try to dash up and see if they can get themselves a map. They do get the dash, so he is going to pop up here. He's going to try to extract the map from the ruined airplane, and he gets a 7. So the map now belongs to him, which is fantastic. So I've gone ahead and put this book on this Janissary to represent that he now has the map. He is going to try to actually run away with the map like a real coward. And so he's gonna just try to book it back in here for now. Just try to hide like a real coward. Okay, so this Pit Locust is going to throw caution to the wind, try to go after that book. So the Pit Locust is going to fly 8 inches up here. Something like that. I'm going to go ahead and measure and see how far away it is for a charge. Okay, so after measuring, the Pit Locust is actually within 8 inches. So any distance will get him there, so he's gonna just fly over and charge into that Janissary and try to retrieve that book and just say fetch. Locust gets 2 attacks when it charges, doesn't suffer any penalties for fighting unarmed or for an offhand attack, and the first attack gains the shrapnel keyword. It has +2 dice of melee, so we're looking at 4 dice here. So let's see if he can hit. Wow, good thing he had so many dice because he only barely gets it, but he does manage to get it. And the Janissary has -1 just for standard armor, so we're looking at an 8, which goes to a 7. So that Janissary will be knocked down. And he is going to take not just 1 blood marker, but 2 blood markers because of the shrapnel keyword, and he doesn't have a combat helmet or anything like that because I tend to run with my guys pretty lean at the start at 700 ducats. He also drops the book, so the book will just drop, right here. And here comes the second attack. So the second attack is 4 attacks. This one does not have shrapnel, but like I said, doesn't suffer any of those penalties for offhand or anything like that. And it hits with a 6-3-3-1. So it hits with a 9. We're gonna spend, I think, we're gonna spend 1 of those blood markers to roll 4 dice since this Janissary is knocked down. And we'll save 1 just in case. This is just going to be a -1. Okay. And that is a pretty decent roll. I rolled all crazy, so maybe I'll get a dice tray for future stuff. Dice Lab dice tray coming up, maybe? But yeah, it's a 5, 4, 6, as you can see on the screen. The other one that rolled away was a 1, but that 11 subtracted by 1 will be enough to out of action that Janissary. So first blood goes to the court. And yeah, I think lastly, this Pit Locust is going to try to pick up the book. So let's try to pick the book up with just a regular old standard action. And I don't know if that's actually a good idea or not, but better there than on the floor. And he gets an 8, so he does pick it up. So he now is in control of that map. That map is a hot commodity today. Alrighty, so we're gonna next be activating with this other melee Janissary who is still standing. He is going to try to charge that Pit Locust and take that for himself. So first things first, actually no roll is needed because we're like 3 inches away. So he's just gonna come in here. Oops. Like so. And he's going to try to swing with his great sword. Since his first action was a charge, he gets +1 dice to his melee attack actions this activation, which is awesome. So he'll be rolling 4 dice with the great axe, or great sword, I mean. So here comes that with 4 dice. And he gets it with a 9, so that is good. And then he's gonna have +1 dice for the great sword. And yeah, we're looking at 3 dice. And -2 for the reinforced armor on the Locust. Wow, so close to being an out of action, but no cigar. That is a 10, subtracted by 2 is 8, which will be a knockdown, and 1 blood marker, which will also be enough to make him drop the book. So he's gonna drop the book, and here comes a second attack with his offhand sword. So this one will only get 3 dice because -1 for the offhand attack. But he hits with a 4, 4, 5, so pretty solid hit there. And then this one is going to be 2 dice +1 for down, and we're going to go ahead and spend the blood marker to make it 4 dice and just hope to take this guy out of action and keep the blood flowing. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is a boxcars, which will out of action the Pit Locust. Wow, this game is bloody to start. All right, that's quite a little. That's quite a thing to happen. So he is going to then try to pick up the book, and he does not because he only gets a 6. Wow. That's not fun. He's gonna try to dash. He is able to dash. He's just going to, I really should put him on the objective to deny the 3 points, but I don't think I'm gonna do that because it seems dangerous. So I'm gonna preserve his life a little bit and get him back here over. He doesn't pick the book up, but he's gonna be behind cover in this little room. This Hunter of the Left-Hand Path here is going to try to take a shot at that machine gun Giselle, who is up on the 3rd floor of that building. That guy could be a problem if he's not taken care of swiftly. So we're going to shoot the bow of Lethe at him. I've just checked, he's exactly within 24 inches. Couldn't have been an inch further apart, so that's great. And I am going to be normally +2 range dice, which would be 4, but I am not at 4 because I'm long range and he's in cover, so we're just down to 2 dice. Straight up roll here, and that is an 8, so he hits. That is a good sign. He's only got standard armor, so I'm not gonna go ignore target armor, but I am going to go for the +2 dice on the injury roll. So we're gonna have 4 dice coming up. Let's see how it goes here. Oh man, mamma mia, that is hot dice today. We have 6, 6, 5, 3. So that guy is going out of action as well. And crazy how fast everyone is dropping in this game. I just removed the Janissary from the 3rd floor. The question is whether or not the hunter would like to move still. He's in a pretty decent spot, but I think I actually will move him. So I'll just try to dash him because that seems like a good way to go. And he gets it with an 8, so he can go 6. He's gonna just try to cruise over here, and then he's gonna just move up and be contesting this objective, as well as taking some cover. So next thing that's gonna happen is this Siege Giselle Janissary is gonna go. He's gonna move up here into cover, and he's going to take a shot at the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path, who is over here. The good old-fashioned Siege Giselle is +1 dice for ranged. We are +1 for the alchemical ammunition, and then -1 dice for being long range. So no cover on this one, it looks like, from this angle. So yeah, we're just 3d6. Let's see if we can hit the hunter. Wow, boxcars, 662. I think I microwaved these dice, I guess. So that's going to be a critical, which means that this is going to be 4d6. All right, so let's see how this one goes. 4 dice to injure the hunter, -2 for his reinforced armor. Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess I really did microwave these. Let me double check and see if the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path has tough. He does not have tough, so he will also be out of action. Holy crap. Well, we might not even get to see if the cultists pop up. Geez. I hope we do get to see it because that was a fun thing that I designed into this scenario. So let's see. But that's going to be it for the Janissary there. Actually, now that I took that guy out, I might actually try to dash just to get away from a potential charge by the Yoke Fiends. So yeah, he's gonna try to dash. Nope, he gets a 1 and 2. There's the cold dice again. So yep, he's gonna stay there and probably get charged by the Yoke Fiend. This Hell Knight over here is going to try his best to bonk the captain, I think, and just really put the pedal to the metal. So first things first, he's gonna have to try to dash. And he fails with a 6. So his turn is actually over. He will wait right there. All right, this Siege Giselle guy back here is going to try to take a shot at the Hell Knight, who is currently hiding back there behind the airplane. It's long range and he's in cover. I'm normally 4d6, so I'm gonna go to 2d6. And let's see. That is a 6 and a 5. So that is going to be a hit, but not quite a crit. So it's just going to be 3d6 and -2 for the reinforced armor. Holy crap. Yeah, that's 11. So -2 is 9, and that's going to take that Hell Knight out of action. I think this might be the bloodiest game ever recorded. If I'm doing something extremely wrong here and missing something that would make this less bloody, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, well, we're gonna keep it rolling. My other Hell Knight over here, who is Too Proud to Fall, I think is what it was called. So the good news is, as long as he is remaining on the table, these boys will never fail a morale check and run away, which is, you know, when I was making the list, I was thinking I just wanted to try something different than Wrath. But, you know, because of the small model count of this game, I think one of these armies may run away, considering that at this point the court has lost 3 models and the Sultanate has lost 2, and they started at 7. So, I mean, there could even be a morale check at the end of this turn if it keeps on so bloody. But for right now, the prime objective is to get on that central objective and score 3 victory points, so that if this game does end early, they have the VP advantage. So This Too Proud to Fall Hell Knight is going to try to move first because I don't want his action to end just from failing. So that's going to get him just up to here. So now he is going to need to dash. And he gets it with a 9, which is freaking swell. Okay, so he's going to come up here. And he's just going to hold that point. I feel like this captain ate his Wheaties this morning, and he's feeling especially courageous. So he's going to go up over the top. He's going to start off with a dash. Nope, that is a 4. So he, just like the Hell Knight on the other side of this little no man's land, are both paralyzed by fear after hearing the blood-curdling screams of all of their roster mates. Alrighty, so I just have these 2 Yoke Fiends remaining to activate for turn 1. And I think I'm going to start with the Arquebus one. He's going to move 6 inches up here. And he's going to just try to take a shot at the Janissary. So his ranged is +0. The Janissary is in cover, so this will be 3 dice. Take the lowest. I'll drop it off the table. The lowest would be a 7, so that will hit. Weirdly enough, I thought for sure that was going to be a miss. All right, so this is just 2 dice straight up. And that is a 4 and a 1. So -1 from the standard armor, so a 4. That's just going to be a single blood marker on that Janissary. And then I will follow that up with one more action from this second Janissary. He's going to try to dash. And he fails with a 6. Wow. Actually, scratch that. I just realized because of the hateful rule, I'm at exactly 12 inches. So instead of being able to dash, I have to try to charge. So, yeah, I need to roll to see. He would really only make it on a 6. And of course, he makes it on a 6 because that's the kind of game this is today. So he gets in there with his great axe. And he's going to have +1 melee dice. So he's got 3 dice with his great axe. His Hellblade. It's not actually great axe. Whoops. Right, because if it was a great axe, it'd be heavy and he would not be able to do certain things. So it's a Hellblade, which does not have the heavy keyword. Sorry about that, guys. But here we go. +1 dice on the injury. I'm going to spend the blood marker. And I'm going to make it 4 dice. Wow. Okay, and that's going to take that Janissary out of action, which is crazy. Which means that at the end of this turn, whoops, I'll pick that up in a second. At the end of this turn, the casualties for both sides are 3 models apiece, which is definitely the bloodiest game that I've seen so far. I'm assuming that is in part due to me setting them both up with 18-inch deployment zones, but you know, I've just seen a lot of games so far where you start so far back and it's only a 4-turn game and just not a lot happens until the last turn. So I was trying to kind of balance that out. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So let's check in for the end of turn stuff for the scenario. Luckily, they both started at 7, so neither side will need a morale check just yet, but more than likely next turn will be looking. Okay, so here's what the board looks like after turn 1. Holy crap, that was a very bloody turn. As you can see, quite a lot of stuff has gone from the board. After all of that, the court was able to hold the central objective and control it, so they will score 3 victory points. And yeah, let's see what else we've got for the cultists. Now, both sides are going to roll to see if a cultist shows up. And so let's do the Sultanate first. On a 4-up, occultist will appear. All right, occultist will appear from the Sultanate, and let's see if for the court, cultist appears. No, so just one cultist will appear, and depending on how this dice rolls is which quadrant it will show up in. So this quadrant is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, this one is 4. On a 5 or a 6, we'll re-roll. It is a 5, so we will re-roll. It is a 2, so it will be this quadrant. I believe that the only model in this quadrant is this Hell Knight, so a cultist will show up and attack that cultist. A cultist will show up and attack that Hell Knight. Alrighty, so a cultist has appeared, and the cultist attacks with -1 melee dice and the fire keyword. So here it is. Let's see if he hits. That would not be a hit, that'd be a 5. So that cultist missed. And we will go into turn 2. Again, both sides have equal numbers. They both have 4 models on the table. So the Sultanate is gonna roll. They got a 5. Court gets a 1. So the Sultanate will take the first action. Here comes first activation of turn 2. All right, so right now I'm thinking that the best course of action is trying to remove the Hell Knight that is on the central objective in order for the court to hopefully fail a morale check. I think that might be the best course of action for the Sultanate to try to steal this one away. So this Janissary with the siege rifle, Siege Jezzail, is going to shoot at the Hell Knight on the objective. It would be 4d6, but long range and cover is going to bring it to 2. And we get a 7. So he is able to hit, which is awesome. So here comes the injury roll with 3d6. Wow. So we're looking at a 2, 6, and a 5 is an 11, -2 to a 9. So he goes out of action. Pops off the objective, which is quite a swing here. Hell Knight is dealing with this cultist, and that's not ideal. So he's going to try to disengage and dash away from that cultist. Here is the roll, the dash. Gets it with an 8, so he is going to dash away, which means that that cultist will be taking a free strike at 3d6, take the lowest. That is a hit with a 7, so the cultist is going to be rolling an injury at -2. That is a 7 to a 5, so that will be 1 blood marker, which will then turn into 2 blood markers because of the fire keyword. But he is able to dash, so he's going to come over here, climb up, and then he is going to try to make a risky charge at the captain. With an 8, he is able to get the risky charge. Let's see how far he can go. 8 inches, it should be enough. It is, after measuring. So it is also a diving charge, so he needs to make a risky action to see if he falls on his face. Wow, he gets it with a 10, and that means he's gonna be moving on in. Bringing the pain over here. But he does also have the 2 blood markers, so it might not be as clean as we're thinking. To hit with the greatsword, the captain is going to spend the 2 blood to reduce it to base dice. The greatsword here, he's able to pull it off with a 7, and so a 7 he hits, which means he's gonna. Oh, also I shortchanged myself. There should have been 1 extra dice for the diving charge, but that's okay. He was able to do it anyways, so I will count that this time. So he's gonna have 3 dice for the diving, or for the Hellblade, plus 1 to 4 dice for the diving charge. This is -2 for the reinforced armor. And we are looking at a 9. -2 to a 7 is going to be a knockdown. And that's also going to cause 2 blood because of the Hellblade. So here is going to be the offhand sword attack, which would be normally at 4 dice, but then it goes to 5 dice because of the diving charge. And so 5 dice to hit with the offhand sword. Oh wow, good thing that he had 5 dice, because that is 3 1s and 2 5s. So that barely hits. Let's see here. So the offhand sword is going to be 2 + 1 for the diving charge, +1 for down, and then I'm going to spend one more just for good measure to try to get 5 dice here and try to get him out of action, even though he is tough, but try to burn that tough at least. Wow. And that is a crap ton of dice. Whoops. I think I bounced that, but it was not higher than a 5. So that's 10 -2 to an 8. So he's knocked down again. So that is going to put him at, I believe, 3 blood markers. Wow. Well, so there was a lot of good rolls there to make that happen, but in the end, not a lot of good rolls when it came to the injuries where it really counted. So that is it for that Hell Knight. The captain is going to stand up because being knocked down sucks, and he is going to try to swing back with 4 dice. Hell Knight's going to spend all 3 to try to make him miss. So rather than being at 4 dice, he's going to be at 3 dice, take the lowest to swing back. But he gets a 4, 4, and a 6, so he hits despite all that blood in true Moosbarin captain style, even though the Hell Knight doesn't have tough, so it's not, he doesn't get any bonuses here, so it's just 2 dice. A 9 though, -2 will knock down the Hell Knight and put a single blood on him. So not terrible, but a bit of a slap fight over here. That's kind of what we were missing, I think, at the start of the game, was those slap fights. It seems like everything was to the death, but maybe now we're cooling off, we'll see. Arquebus is going to move, something like down here, and then he's going to try to dash. Actually, he's not going to dash. He's going to come like this. He's just going to shoot down here, straight at the Janissary. So he is long range, so it's going to be 3d6. Man, this is going to be terrible. Yeah, he's going to be 3d6, take the lowest, but then he's going to be 4d6 if he shoots the Janissary because it's in cover. So he's going to shoot the lion, just so he's just a straight 3d6, take the lowest, not 4d6. 4d6, take the lowest is like, I don't know what the probability is, but it seems terrible. So let's go for the 3. And it's a good thing that he did, because that is a 5, 5, 4, and he's able to hit with a 9. And then once again, it's 3d6, take the lowest, because the lion has, like, I can't remember what the word is, but it's like he's a tackling creature, so he's harder to wound. So here's 3d6, take the lowest for the injury. Wow, I was so excited to see that 11, but that is for nothing, because it is only a 6, which means that he is just going to take a single blood marker. Wow, this one's starting to get a little dire. The battle in Verdun is a bloody one. Okay, well, I think that lion probably was not a big fan of that. So, man, the bloodthirsty part of me wants to just rip at him and charge him, but I think the smart move is just to be on the objective and get the points. So actually the lion is just going to move up here and sit on the objective. So that's not the most exciting, but I think it is the smarter move. secure those 3 victory points. So then this polearm yoke fiend is going to try to dash. Wow, he fails. And ain't that just the way for my over the garden wall fans out there. Moving on, he fails, and that's nothing for him. So 1 more activation left in turn 2. I think that this Janissary is going to try to pick up the book and just book it. That's a dumb pun. Sorry, guys. To this objective to try to score, just in case the game ends. So yeah, he's going to try to pick it up on a 7. He gets it on an 8. Sorry, of course I have to always roll it behind all the terrain, but the terrain makes it fun. So he picks it up. He is going to try to move. I've already measured. He can go to about here. Sorry, once again, I think that is behind the building, so you probably cannot even see him. Maybe that will be better. Let's see. There we go. That's better. So, yep, he moves behind the building with the book. He's going to try to dash over here to the objective. Uh-oh. Oh, how's that for a little drama? A 2 and then the 5. Okay, so he is able to get over here. You know what, I hate to retcon this, but I think instead of trying to dash onto the objective, okay, so he is just going to dash onto the objective. Be within an inch, holding the book just in case the game ends. Turn 2 comes to a close, looking like this. Wow, this is a barren landscape after all those deaths. Bit of a slap fight down here in the bottom corner. Siege Janissary just blew the hell out of that Hell Knight, which was great. And then, yeah, over here we have a little bit of a battle royale going on as that Janissary tries to carry the map back. Meanwhile, these Yoke Fiends are trying their best to stop him from claiming it at the end of the game. So what we need to do now is some end of the turn business. Yeah, we'll have to see how the points add up. I want to say it's probably this turn that they're going to score 3 points for holding the central objective. So, you know, that's going to be a wash since the court scored the 3 the first turn, the Sultanate scored it the second turn. But since the Janissary was able to get to the book over to the side objective, that's going to be extra VPs. It is going to be a morale check for the court. Let's see if they will run away. Yeah, that's a 5. So they do in fact run away, and that is the end of the game. A very short one, just 2 turns. But I kind of like how action-packed that one was, honestly, for a game that's meant, this scenario for context is meant to be maybe the first one played or the second one played in a campaign. So I kind of like that was kind of just like a quick little skirmish between these warbands. Wish we could have seen a little bit more of the cultists popping up in a longer game. That might have been interesting, popping up all over the board. But yeah, I thought that played relatively smoothly. Let me know what you think about this one. Obviously, the crazy dice rolls probably skewed the result a little bit, but I think it played relatively decently for a first playtest. I'm tempted to maybe scoot the deployment zones back a touch, but I also sort of liked that they were immediately fighting over the central objective. So yeah, let me know what you think. The link to the scenario will be in the description of this video, so feel free to download that and give it a try with your group, and I would love to hear how it goes for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.